Welcome to my kitchen. And today, in fact, it's a baking kitchen because we're going to make a cake. And this cake is unbelievably fantastic. It's a flourless chocolate cake. It's gluten-free. I'm going to throw a little surprise in there as well. Super easy to make. You're going to love it. Let's get started. Here's what you're going to need for this. You need 100 grams of butter, 100 grams of sugar, 4 eggs, a cup, which is about 100 grams of ground almonds. That's almond meal. That's instead of our flour. I'm also using 100 grams of beautiful dark chocolate instead of cocoa in this. It's amazing, trust me. A little pinch of salt, and then my little treat that's going in here are some little blackberries. Now you could use raspberries, you could probably use blueberries. These were frozen and I just defrosted them. So that's your ingredients. So this is a loose bottomed tin or a spring form tin, and I just want to grease the sides with a little bit of butter. You don't need to flour them. Greasing them is absolutely fine. But then I want to put this piece of baking paper on the bottom. It just makes it slightly more secure for me that it's definitely not going to stick. So separate the tin like that, put that over there, and then clip it back up. And there you have it, it's lined. A little bit weird, but don't worry about that. So just grab a saucepan, chuck your 100 grams of butter into there, and then I've chopped up my chocolate, not terribly fine. And believe it or not, I don't use the double boiler method. I just always find that such a faff with, you know, putting the basin on top of a simmering pot. I just can't be bothered. You get away with this on a low heat because what happens is that butter kind of provides a buffer for the chocolate, and so the chocolate won't stick to the bottom. That's my hope anyway. Now I've started separating some eggs. I've done 4 eggs, so I've got 3 already, final 1 in here, and I just want to whip up my beautiful egg whites to a soft peak. Don't go too stiff with the egg whites on this because otherwise they kind of become a bit hard to mix, but just kind of nice soft peak. So let's get that on. All right. Alright, I reckon those are sort of done. See how that nice soft peak there? So I want to use this bowl again as well. So let me just transfer these whites. We're just going to pop those off into here, and I can sort of whisk those up as well when I come a little bit closer to using them. I'm now going to pop my 4 egg yolks in here. Lovely, beautiful, bright yellow there, and then that 100 grams of sugar. And now we just need to whip this up so it's nice and kind of creamy, pale, and a bit aerated. Oh, look how beautiful that is. You see, you really want to have a lot of patience when you are beating eggs and sugar in together. It's quite a science. The egg strands need to get really long, they need to mix with the sugar, and then you get this beautiful foamy, very thick mixture. I really love the transformation of it. To me it is like science, it's kind of magical. So what I've got now is, I've got those, and I also want to mix my chocolate in with this. We've got beautiful, wonderful kind of syrupy melted chocolate and butter, and that's going to provide so much of the flavour in our cake. I also want to put a nice little decent pinch of salt in there, sea salt. What that does is it actually enriches the cake. If you put salt with chocolate, it makes the chocolate taste sort of even darker, even more chocolatey. So there you go. All right, now time to mix these two together. Just pour this in gently. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks good, does it not? Just fold very gently because you really don't want to take all of the air that you've so lovingly beaten into those. Now I need to go in with my lovely almonds, and we're just going to stir those up as well. And then what I'm going to start doing is start cutting it with my egg whites. So just put this in about 2 or 3 batches. I'm going to start with 2. I'm going to try and get away with 2 batches. So just folding that in like that. And it's better that it's not entirely mixed. You know, if you want to really mix it really hard, you're going to take all that beautiful air out of there. So I'm okay if it doesn't look, if it still has that slightly rippled effect. I think that's fine. You can see how thick that batter is. Oh, the smell of it, the chocolate in there. So all those little air bubbles that are in there, what are they going to do in the oven when they hit the heat? they're of course going to expand and lift our cake. That's the whole deal. All right, just pouring that beautiful batter, and be very gentle at this stage. In fact, I always start whispering around about now because I don't want anything to drive the air that I've so lovingly beaten into all of this beautiful batter. And now just gently plopping each of the berries on top of your cake. Look, I've no doubt they're going to sink to the bottom, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. What they provide is, in a very rich cake, they provide this beautiful kind of burst of sort of tart flavour. So there we have it. Just as well I've got an apron on. I love cooking in an apron, always do it, because look, you can just do this. It's fantastic. All right, into the oven, 170 for about 30-35 minutes. Okay, so I've cooked the cake. It's settled for about 10 minutes, something like that, maybe a little bit longer. Run your knife around it to release it, and look at that. Oh, and look how it's sort of all crunchy and cracky on the top. You've still got a little bit of that berry coming through, but most of them are going to be in the cake. So this is, you know, you've got different choices about how to decorate cakes. I really love a rustic version where you just keep it on the paper because I think it looks lovely. And then I'm going to top the whole cake with cream. It's just a pretty spectacular thing to do with a warm cake that you're serving for dessert. And I just love it. The whole house, I don't mind telling you, just smells unbelievably amazing and chocolatey. All right. See? Just like that. Sort of rustic, casual. And now, let's do a little dusting of cocoa all over that. And now, just take a beautiful little slice out of there. You don't need a massive slice, people. It's a very rich cake. And you can just squeeze your little knife under there. Pull her out there. Oh, look at all those berries under there. Oh my goodness. Oh, where's my plate? Where's my mouth? Pop that on there. Look at that. Doesn't that look a treat? Yum. Should I have a bit of a taste? I think so. I didn't want to be giving you something that didn't taste fantastic. Let's just test. Oh my goodness me. Wow. It's so light. It's not as rich as it looked. I know this sounds weird, but whipped cream really cuts through richness in a dessert. That is amazing. Still slightly warm. Perfect cake, I'd say. Flourless, gluten-free, amazing chocolate and berry cake. You should make it. You'll like it.